Does hard work beat luck? There comes a moment in every life when the question whispers itself, often in the silence between failures or in the shadows of another man's success. Was it luck or was it hard work? We look at the mansion on the hill, the booming voice on stage, the billionaire who made it from nothing, and somewhere deep inside, the cynic in us speaks. He was lucky. Right time, right place, right people. But let me ask you something. Do you think Thomas Edison invented the light bulb by luck? Was it mere coincidence that Henry Ford reimagined the automobile industry? Do you honestly believe that Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty and pain, just happened to be blessed by fortune? No. What they had was not luck. What they had was vision, fire, an obsession with doing the work when the world wasn't watching. You see, the idea of luck is seductive. It removes responsibility. If success is luck, then you are off the hook. No pressure to strive, no pressure to evolve. You can sit still and wait for your miracle. But let me warn you, waiting for luck is the fastest way to rot in mediocrity. Because here's the truth. Luck is not a strategy. It is not a blueprint. It is not a plan. It is a whisper in the wind. While hard work is thunder crashing through mountains, it is the relentless pounding of a heart that refuses to surrender. When the world sleeps, hard work wakes up. When the crowd celebrates, hard work trains in silence. When luck fades like a mirage, hard work builds brick by brick. The ancient Stoics believed that fortune only favors the prepared, and they were right. Imagine a man digging in the dirt for days, blistered hands, parched throat, body screaming for rest. Then suddenly he strikes gold. The world says he's lucky, but they didn't see the 1,000 hours of digging. They didn't feel the blood under his fingernails. They didn't hear the voice in his head that told him to quit, that he silenced every single day. Luck is the name the world gives to success. It doesn't understand. But you must understand it. Because once you do, you no longer wait. You build. You grind. You become the storm that carves its own fate. There's a reason why so many people want to believe in luck. Because it's easier than believing in yourself. Because when you believe in hard work, now you're responsible. Now your choices matter. Your discipline matters. Your consistency matters. And that's terrifying to some people. But not to you. Because you are not here to be average. You are not here to lean on chance or gamble your future on a stroke of fortune. You are here to write your own legend. With sweat, with sacrifice, with sleepless nights and unwavering vision. Success is not found in the flip of a coin. It is forged in the furnace of repetition. Let the others worship luck. You will worship discipline. Let the others hope for a miracle. You will become the miracle. Look around. Every skyscraper you see, every life-changing innovation, every groundbreaking business was once an idea, backed not by luck, but by relentless execution. Do you think Elon Musk relied on luck, or was it obsession, relentless curiosity, the refusal to let fear make his decisions? Do you think Kobe Bryant's greatness was luck, or was it 4 a.m. practices, film sessions, sacrifice, and a mentality so intense it made the ordinary uncomfortable? This world will always try to reduce greatness to randomness, because if greatness is random, then no one is obligated to try. But greatness, true greatness, is deliberate. You have to be willing to bleed for it, to endure boredom, setbacks, ridicule, and isolation. You have to work when you're uninspired, move when you're tired, push when you're drowning in doubt. Luck might open the door, but it is hard work that walks through it. It is hard work that stays when the applause fades. It is hard work that turns failure into fuel and fear into fire. So what if you weren't born into privilege? So what if your connections are weak, your resources limited, your path unclear? That's not your curse. That is your forge, your proving ground. When life doesn't hand you the shortcut, you build the long road. And in that journey, you become someone luck could never create. Because the man who gets everything by luck is weak when tested. But the man who earns everything through labor, he becomes unbreakable. This is not a message for the lazy. This is a declaration for the relentless. Because hard work is not just an act. It's a lifestyle, a mindset, a philosophy. It is saying yes when your body screams no. It is mastering the art of showing up, not once, not twice, but every day, every hour, every breath. It is knowing that you might not see the reward today, or tomorrow, or even this year, but you plant anyway, you water anyway, you believe anyway. Because hard work is not just what you do, it's who you become. You begin to realize that the reward is not just the result. The reward is who you become in pursuit of it. The patience you grow, the endurance you build, the humility you learn, the resilience you master. Luck gives you moments, hard work gives you character, and character outlasts every jackpot. History remembers the bold, not the lucky, the builders, the visionaries, the warriors who refuse to bow to comfort. If you want a lucky break, create one. If you want opportunity, prepare for it with such intensity that the universe cannot ignore you. If you want a miracle, become someone worthy of one. There are two types of people in this world: those who wait for a sign, and those who become one. So I ask you, as the world spins and the noise grows louder, who will you be? The one hoping the stars align, or the one burning so brightly they become their own constellation? The world doesn't reward the dreamer who sleeps. It rewards the dreamer who wakes up early and works like the dream is already real. You want to know if hard work beats luck? Here's your answer. Luck runs out, but discipline compounds, like interest in a hidden bank account of greatness, invisible at first, undeniable over time. Every morning you wake up and decide to show up, even when no one's clapping, even when no one's watching. You build something luck can never touch. Momentum is what turns effort into excellence. But momentum is shy. It doesn't come to the lazy. It doesn't flirt with the inconsistent. It comes to those who say, I will not negotiate with my excuses today. Think about the builders of ancient cathedrals. Do you think they were driven by luck? No. Some spent their entire lives placing stones they'd never live to see completed. But they did it anyway, because legacy matters more than lottery. Ask yourself, what are you building? A life that depends on timing, favors, and handouts, or a legacy of persistence so powerful it echoes beyond your years? Hard work doesn't just beat luck. It embarrasses it, because luck is inconsistent. It shows up when it wants. It's moody. But hard work is reliable. Hard work is your ally, your armor, your secret weapon in a world looking for shortcuts. You think Carnegie waited to get lucky? No. He read books by candlelight and fought through rejection and failure and poverty until the world had no choice but to notice him. You think Walt Disney got lucky? No. He was fired for lacking imagination, bankrupt more than once, laughed at by bankers, and still, he built a kingdom from cartoons because he believed when no one else did. So when someone says, you're lucky, smile. Because they weren't there when you chose discipline over distraction. They weren't there when you turned off the TV, said no to the party, woke up 2 hours early, or stayed up 4 hours late. They weren't there when you cried in private, but still didn't quit. Let them call it luck. You'll call it what it really is: sacrifice. Because hard work, true hard work, is not sexy. It's not glamorous. It's repetition. It's uncelebrated. It's lonely. But that is its beauty. The diamond doesn't shine in the earth. It shines because of pressure, because of heat, because of time. You are no different. And here's the kicker. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Not because the universe suddenly smiles on you, but because you start creating your own conditions for success. Doors open because you built them. Opportunities show up because you develop the eyes to see them. People trust you because your consistency makes you undeniable. Hard work turns the invisible into the inevitable. And while others are waiting to be chosen, you're choosing yourself every single day. You are voting for your future with your actions, with your habits, with your persistence. And the world, though it may take time, always responds to the man or woman who refuses to stay small, because hard work expands you. It reveals parts of you you didn't know existed. It sharpens you, strengthens you, burns away the weakness, the excuses, the noise. You realize that mastery isn't a destination, it's a rhythm, a cadence of commitment. The sculptor doesn't strike the stone once and walk away. He strikes again and again and again, until the statue emerges. So strike the stone of your limitations. Strike the wall of your comfort zone. Strike the doubt, the fear, the fatigue, until you see the shape of the person you were meant to become. This world will throw storms at you. It will test your will, your patience, your faith. But luck does not survive the storm. Only grit does. Only the one who says, I may bend, but I will not break. The one who learns, who adapts, who stays in the fight, long after the odds say, go home, because luck might get you in the room, but it's your grind that keeps you there. And let's be clear, this isn't about grinding blindly. This is about intentional effort, strategic, obsessive, focused work that aligns with your purpose. Don't just work hard, work wisely, work relentlessly, work with fire in your veins and clarity in your soul. If you don't know your purpose, your vision, your why, find it. Dig for it like your life depends on it, because it does. When your work is connected to purpose, it becomes sacred. You're no longer just clocking in. You're climbing toward your highest self. You're not just hustling. You're harmonizing with destiny. And let me tell you, the man with purpose will always outlast the man with luck, because luck fades, but purpose fuels. It ignites when motivation dies. It speaks when doubt screams. It carries you through rejection, through setbacks, through loss. It is your anchor and your sail. And when you combine purpose with work ethic, you become unstoppable. The world cannot hold back a soul on fire. And what about failure? People think failure disproves hard work, but that's the biggest lie of all. Failure is proof that you're doing the work that matters. It means you're trying, stretching, becoming. Failure is not the enemy. It's the invitation to level up. The lucky man avoids failure and stays weak. The hard-working man meets failure and becomes forged in its fire. So embrace it. Fail boldly. Fail publicly. But never fail passively. Let the scars speak of your courage. Let your resilience become your reputation. Because every setback refines your story. Every detour deepens your resolve. Every no teaches you how to say yes louder. Next time, you are not here to coast. You are here to climb. And you were not given this dream just to flirt with it. You were given this dream to marry it, to sacrifice for it, to give birth to it with your own sweat and fire. So when you are tempted to wait, when you are tempted to believe that success is for the chosen few, when you are tempted to fold and hope for luck, remember this: the world does not need another lucky man. The world needs more builders, more warriors of effort, more artists of action, more creators of legacy. And that is who you are. You were not born to wait for blessings. You were born to become one. You are not the result of chance. You are the result of choices, your habits, your hunger, your hustle. And if you keep showing up, keep refining, keep sacrificing, you will rise. Not because the stars aligned, but because you refuse to stay grounded. This world is built by those who build themselves first, who trade ease for evolution, who take ownership of their future, not by hoping for it, but by earning it. Look back at history. The names that echo through time are not the names of the lucky. They're the names of the relentless. Lincoln lost election after election before he became president. He was mocked, underestimated, and broken by grief. And still, he rose. Why? Because the mission was bigger than the man. Because hard work kept him moving when the world told him to sit down. Or look at Frederick Douglass. Born a slave, taught himself to reap, spoke truth to power, until the system had to listen. That was not luck. That was conviction, sacrifice, relentless work in the face of unimaginable odds. Every excuse you make, every delay you defend, dishonors those who worked with less and still made history. You don't need luck. You need fire. A burning desire so deep that nothing, not fear, not failure, not fatigue, can put it out. Napoleon Hill said it best. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But he didn't say receive. He said achieve. That means work. That means you. Not someday. Now. Not when you feel ready. But precisely when you don't. Because readiness is a lie. The comfort zone sells to the weak. You become ready through action, through pressure, through showing up before the world validates you. The moment you wait for luck to find you, you've already lost. But the moment you decide to move, regardless of odds, you've already won. Because forward is forward, even if it's 1 inch at a time, and every inch earned through effort is worth more than a mile handed to you by fate. That's what builds greatness. Not a single strike of lightning, but 1,000 sparks you created by grinding steel against stone. Do not envy the man who seems to have it all without trying. Pity him, because the day the storms come, and they will, he won't have roots. But you will have built yours deep, built through early mornings and late nights, through sacrifice and self-discipline, through choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. Every repetition you didn't skip, every distraction you said no to, every failure you walked through, that's your foundation. That's what lasts. And when the world tries to give credit to luck, don't even argue. Let them think what they want, because the ones who get it, the builders, the warriors, the ones walking the same battlefield, they'll know. They'll see it in your eyes, in your posture, in your consistency, and they'll nod, because you speak the same language, the language of the earned. That's what matters. Because this journey, it's not about validation, it's about transformation. It's about becoming someone you respect when the lights are off. It's about waking up every day and saying, let's go again. Not because it's easy, not because it's glamorous, but because it's right. Because there's something in you that refuses to settle. Something in you that knows mediocrity is a lie, dressed in comfort. You were born for more. And more doesn't come to those who wish. It comes to those who work while others wish. There's a phrase that echoes in every great mind. I will either find a way or make one. Let that be your creed. Let it fuel you when you're overlooked. Let it push you when you're exhausted. Let it whisper to you when the world screams, quit. Because if you can learn to fall in love with effort, not just outcomes, you will never lose. That's the truth. They don't teach you in school. That's the law hidden beneath the law of attraction. It's not enough to believe. You must act. You must move. Belief alone is the spark. But work is the fuel. And the more you feed it, the more unstoppable you become. There will be days when nothing makes sense, when progress is invisible, when your results don't reflect your effort. Good, because that is the exact moment most people stop. That's when the crowd disappears, and the few are forged. That's when your path stops being ordinary and becomes legendary. You're not meant to be one of the many. You're meant to be one of the few who wake up tired and move anyway. The few who are scared but act anyway. The few who are doubted and keep going anyway. Because that's what makes you dangerous. Not luck, not talent, but the fact that you won't stop, no matter what. That's power. That's freedom. That's how hard work beats luck. Every time. Because luck is static. Hard work is exponential. Luck gives you a moment. Hard work gives you a lifetime. You don't want to be lucky once. You want to be great always. So build the habits no one sees. Make the sacrifices no one understands. Set the standard no one else will live by. And one day, when you stand on the mountain, when you've built what you once only imagined, the world will ask how you did it, and you'll smile, because you'll know you earned it with your blood, your sweat, your soul, and no one can take that from you, because that is real success, unborrowed, unbought, unmatched. There's a kind of strength that no lottery ticket can buy, a kind of fire that no wind of chance can blow out. It's the strength of the man who kept going when it would have been easier to quit. The woman who stayed the course when the noise begged her to fold. It's the fire built not from a single spark of luck, but from friction. The friction of daily resistance, of fighting your own doubt, your own fatigue, your own fear, until the flames became your identity. And that kind of fire, it doesn't flicker, it roars. That's what hard work gives you, not just results, but identity. You stop being someone who wants the dream, and you become someone who deserves it. Because success has a gatekeeper, and that gatekeeper is effort. You don't talk your way past him. You don't charm your way around him. You work. You show your scars. You present your pain. You bring your resume of resilience and say, "Let me in." And sometimes even then, you'll be turned away. So what do? You come back stronger, louder, clearer. You say, "I wasn't asking." Because hard work doesn't knock once. It hammers, it drills, it carves a space in the world where none existed. And eventually, the world makes room, because nothing is more powerful than a human being who refuses to be ignored. That's the energy you carry. You don't wait for blessings. You become undeniable. You don't wish for momentum. You build it with your own two hands. You don't pray for an easier path. You pray for stronger legs, because deep down, you already know the harder road is the one that transforms you. That's the paradox of greatness. It never shows up wrapped in ease. It shows up in challenge, in friction, in repetition, the kind that breaks most people, but not you, because you've made a decision. You will not stop, not when it's hard, not when it's quiet, not when it's lonely, especially not then, because those moments, those cold, thankless moments, when no one is clapping, that's where the giants are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, in the gym with no crowd, at the desk with no applause, in the grind with no glory. And that's what separates those who only dream of greatness from those who become it. Luck is impatient. Hard work is faithful. Luck is passive. Hard work is powerful. Luck may open the curtain, but it's hard work that writes the script, performs the act, and takes the bow. So stop waiting for things to change. You are the change. Stop waiting for the call. You are the call. Stop waiting for the door. You are the key. It's not out there. It's in you. That hunger, that obsession, that rage against the average, that's your edge, and no amount of luck can replicate it. The truth is, the universe rewards those who grind when it's not fair, who rise when they shouldn't, who believe before there's proof, because that level of conviction, it bends the laws of possibility. The man who dares to move mountains doesn't need luck. He needs a shovel and a promise to never stop digging. The woman who dares to change the world doesn't need fate. She needs fire and a refusal to be ordinary. That's what you're made of. You don't flinch at pressure. You lean into it. You don't run from the climb. You welcome the altitude. You don't shrink from the odds. You raise your standards, because you've realized that pressure doesn't break you. It builds you. It shows you what you're made of. It reveals the muscle that only resistance can sculpt. No one wakes up excellent. No one is born relentless. That's earned, in silence, in repetition, in pain. And it's in that pain that purpose is revealed. Because when your lungs burn, when your heart pounds, when every cell in your body screams enough, and you go anyway, that's the moment your old self dies, and your true self is born. And from that moment forward, you no longer need luck. You are your own momentum, your own power plant. People will ask you, "What's your secret?" And you'll laugh. Because there is no secret, just work, day after day, step after step, with or without applause. You'll become allergic to excuses, immune to distractions, married to your mission. Because this isn't just about success, it's about character. It's about earning your own respect. It's about laying your head on the pillow every night knowing you gave everything. That's the kind of peace luck can never provide. Because luck is external, but effort is personal. Effort is sacred, and when you learn to honor that effort, when you stop negotiating with your excuses, stop explaining your failures, and start owning your path, you stop waiting, and you start becoming. You stop hoping, and you start commanding, because you're no longer trying to get lucky. You're making it impossible not to win. You're showing up so consistently, so fully, so ruthlessly, that the universe has no choice but to bend. That's the law behind every legend. They weren't waiting, they were working, and when the world finally clapped, they'd already become too focused to notice. Because greatness isn't for the lucky, it's for the obsessed, the ones who are willing to sweat through the silence, to show up when no one believes, to outlast the noise. And if that's you, if you're ready to stop waiting and start creating, then know this: you are already more powerful than luck, because luck is a guest, but you are the host, and this world, this life, this destiny, it belongs to those who do the work. The clock ticks for everyone, but the difference is this: some people let the hours pass, and others shape those hours into monuments. You're not here to count the time, you're here to use it, to turn minutes into mastery, days into destiny, because time is the one currency luck can't control. But you can, and how you use it reveals everything. While the world scrolls, you study. While they party, you prepare. While they wait for the stars to align, you're out building your own constellations, one brick, one breath, one battle at a time. This is what separates you. You don't chase moments, you craft them. You don't wait for tides, you row. You don't beg for miracles, you become one. And if that means going alone, you go alone. If that means being misunderstood, you accept it. If that means discomfort, discipline, and detours, you welcome them. Because the mission is bigger than the mood, the vision is greater than the pain, and the dream is louder than the doubt. That's why luck is never enough, because luck fades when things get hard. Luck disappears when resistance shows up. But hard work is what meets resistance and says, good, now we grow. You see, discomfort is not your enemy, it's your trainer. And every time you step into it, you get sharper, stronger, closer. So run toward the pain, chase the burn, because comfort never created kings. Think of the greatest inventions, revolutions, ideas. They didn't come from the lucky, they came from the obsessed, the ignored, the doubted, the relentless. Steve Jobs didn't get lucky, he got focused. He didn't settle for average, he didn't wait for validation. He created the future, while others clung to the past. And when you look at your own life, you'll realize the most powerful moments didn't come easy. They came through fire, through friction, through fighting, when giving up felt justified. That's the irony of it all. The blessings you're most proud of weren't handed to you, they were earned. And you'll find that the ones who scream the loudest about luck are usually the ones too afraid to face their own reflection. Because if you remove luck from the equation, they have no excuse left. But you've already faced the mirror. You've already accepted the truth. That success is not given, it's constructed, piece by piece, hour by hour. You've stopped waiting for the map, and you've picked up the hammer. And here's what most people don't understand. Hard work is a multiplier. It takes your natural gifts and expands them. It takes your ideas and executes them. It turns potential into power. But without it, potential is just a ghost. Luck might find you once, but hard work is how you stay found. It's how you evolve. It's how you take the version of yourself that the world tried to contain and rebuild him into something undeniable. So when they tell you to slow down, when they mock your ambition, when they say take it easy, it's not that serious. You smile, because you know the truth. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be remembered. And people don't remember the lucky. They remember the ones who bled for their mission, the ones who made the impossible look inevitable, the ones who took their pain and turned it into purpose. That's who you are becoming, but not by chance, by choice. Every rep, every sacrifice, every late night and early morning, you're building something they can't see yet. And that's okay. They won't believe in it until they see it. But by then, you won't need their belief, because you'll already have built the results. You'll already have carved the mountain. You'll already be walking in the life you refuse to leave to chance. And when they call you lucky again, let them think this was an accident. Let them believe it was easy, because you'll know the truth. You'll know the pain, the hours, the discipline, the battles. And that truth, that's yours. That's sacred. That's your edge. Because there's nothing more powerful than a man who earned his strength, who didn't inherit it, who wasn't handed it, who built it. And that kind of strength cannot be taken. Not by failure, not by rejection, not by chaos or crisis. Because it's not external, it's internal. It's in your spine, your decisions, your silence. You'll walk into rooms differently, not because you're better, but because you've become better. By choice, by effort, by soul. And the man who gets everything by luck, he'll always be afraid of losing it. But the man who got everything through work, he'll never fear starting over, because he knows he's the asset, not the car, not the title, not the house. Him, you. You're the value, you're the brand, you're the generator. And if they took it all away tomorrow, you'd build it back, faster, because the blueprint lives in your bones now. The standard is etched in your blood. The hunger is tattooed on your soul. That's what hard work gives you. Not just success, but ownership. You don't just have the life, you own how you got it. And that, my friend, is freedom, because nothing the world gives can compare to what you give yourself through effort. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being unrecognizable to your former self. That's the only race. That's the only competition. Not luck, not shortcuts, not applause. Just you versus yesterday. Just you versus doubt. Just you versus average. So keep building, keep showing up, keep proving to yourself, not the world, that you are made of something deeper than chance, that you are the author, the architect, the force, and that no matter what the odds say, you will not be denied, not because you're lucky, but because you refuse to quit. This is the moment where most people stop listening. They've heard enough. They're tired. They want the shortcut, the secret, the trick, but you're still here. You kept listening. Why? Because deep down, you already know. Hard work doesn't just beat luck. It destroys it. It outlives it. It outgrows it. It replaces it. Because while luck waits, hard work builds. While luck wonders, hard work decides. While luck knocks, hard work breaks the door down. That's the truth they won't tell you. Because if everyone believed that, then no one would have an excuse anymore. And excuses are comfortable. They keep people warm in a cold world of wasted potential. But not you. You've given up comfort for power. You've traded excuses for execution. You've stopped waiting for the storm to pass and learned to dance in the rain, to fight in the mud, to create in the chaos. And that is what makes you unstoppable. Because no matter how many doors close, no matter how many people leave, no matter how many times the world ignores your effort, you are still showing up, still becoming, still sharpening the blade of your discipline. You are no longer hoping that fate will rescue you. You have become the force that saves yourself. And let me tell you something the lucky will never understand. There is no victory more pure than the one you earned with your own 2 hands. No trophy more beautiful than the one stained with your sweat. No life more fulfilling than the one you built, piece by piece, day by day, even when it hurt, especially when it hurt, because that's when character is forged. That's when destiny is decided. That's when the average fall back and the relentless rise. You don't need luck. You need clarity, conviction, discipline. You need to fall in love with the process, not the prize, because the process is where you become who you're meant to be. The late nights, the failures, the rejections, the doubts, they're not distractions. They're the curriculum. They are teaching you who you are. Every time you keep going when you want to quit, you earn power. Every time you say no to comfort, you earn freedom. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you earn the life most will never touch. And the irony, once you've done the work, once you've suffered, grown, endured, overcome, they'll still call you lucky. Let them see your mansion, your freedom, your discipline, your peace, and say, wow, must be nice. Let them believe it was easy. Let them stay asleep, because you're awake now. You've tasted the truth, and now there's no going back. You know what builds an empire. You know what carves a legacy. You know what separates a whisper from a roar. And it's not fate. It's fight. It's focus. It's fire. It's you showing up again and again until the world makes room for what you've built. So stand tall, not because it was easy, but because it was earned. Carry your scars like armor. Carry your pain like fuel. Carry your vision like a sword. Because you are not a product of fortune. You are a product of grit. And the road ahead, it won't get easier. But you will get stronger. more clear, more consistent, more dangerous, because you've chosen the path most won't. And that's why you'll live the life most can't. So when they ask, does hard work beat luck? Smile and say nothing, because by then your life will answer for you.